A new poll shows two-thirds of voters say the country is on the wrong track ahead of November's election. Let's dive into this with Democratic Congressman from Rhode Island, Gabe Amo. Congressman, welcome back.
Good morning, Hannah. It's good to see you. And my thoughts go out to all the people in the Southeast who are dealing with the weather that they're experiencing from the hurricane.
Absolutely. Let's talk about these numbers. It could be a warning sign for the Harris campaign. Voters in that poll I just showed to our viewers pointed to a cost of living as a major reason. Economy. What are your thoughts when you hear that so many Americans think the country is going in the wrong direction?
Well, look, as a newer member of Congress, I think about the extremism in the body that I sit, led by Republicans and Speaker Mike Johnson, and it's been the least productive Congress in our recent history. And so I think voters are right to express some level of frustration, but let us also remember where we came from, the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we have not all experienced the benefits of the economy. So when I dig into that poll, I also see that Kamala Harris is viewed as the change agent relative to Donald Trump by a margin of 47% to 38%. So it's very clear that Vice President Harris is putting forward a positive vision that can help voters feel better as well as experience the economy that they desire here in our country.
I do want to turn to Harris's visit to the border on Friday. Like I mentioned, it was her first time in over 3 years. Many are criticizing the belated visit, saying it's too little, too late. We know economy and immigration is the top issue in this election. How does she gain ground when it comes to immigration and border security in our country?
Well, she focuses on solutions and not her own political posturing. It is very clear that the vice president is tough. She is capable, and she is not ceding any ground on the issue of immigration, looking at really important measures like closing entries to the border at emergency moments and raising the threshold by which we would reopen the border. Additionally, working towards actually finding solutions, not what President Trump jettisoned and instructed House Republicans to do in terms of avoiding compromise, but actually putting forward the resources to keep our border secure. So it's very clear. There's a contrast. There are politics and there's policy solutions. The vice president is oriented to fixing the challenges and is taking them head on. That's why she went.
Congressman, I do have to talk about the new numbers me and Alex Ganzatano were talking about that were released by ICE. It's pretty alarming when you think about the released migrants with criminal records who may be roaming the streets of the United States. What is your response when you hear tens of thousands of immigrants convicted of violent crimes are walking free?
Well, look, with one caveat, knowing that we don't necessarily know the time horizon of these particular statistics, but nevertheless, it is very clear this presents the need to act and not focus on the politics that former President Trump is dug in on. He's dug in on messaging, not on solutions. And so when we had a compromise, a bipartisan compromise with Democrats and Republicans, he said to his folks, no. That is unacceptable, and that's why under President Harris, we will see action early to ensure that we address the real challenges that we face at the southern border.
Congressman, you're a first-generation American. I am as well. What do you and other first-generation Americans want to hear from both candidates about immigration that may not be addressed right now from either candidate?
Yeah, I think we should talk about both an orderly process, one where folks in our families strove to get to where we are now, but also the positives of immigration on our economy, on our society, and a legal, orderly process by which people can participate in the fulfillment of the American dream. And so I think we are obviously focused on the challenges, but we should also talk about the positive aspects that improve the lives of Americans across the country.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.